Hi everyone, it's Don and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Well, I've been getting a lot of messages and a lot of contacts from clients. Yeah, some people are just not happy right now with this cruise line. So Norwegian Cruise Line has been one of those cruise lines that people used to have an impression that they would nickel and dime a few things. You know, they would charge you to go on the go-karts, for instance, on the Encore. They would charge for certain entertainment on the ships. That's an extra charge to go see that show. So you would see that they're a little nickel and dime there, but people, they said, well, you know what? They still have the big Broadway show going on in the theater and everyone's happy. They're a good cruise line. The food is pretty good. Specialty dining. There's lots to do on the ships. The ships are fun. The ships are nice. And they forgave it for a while. The last, I'd say 7 months, people have started to change their mind on Norwegian Cruise Line right now because of some of the things they've been doing. They've been doing extra charges like everybody else. All the other cruise lines were doing a lot of these things too, but Norwegian has taken it somewhat to the next level. Now, while other cruise lines were chomping prices and cutting things to get people back after the pandemic, to get them back on board and get the loyal customers back, Norwegian kept their prices up here. They didn't lower their prices at all. So when they start adding more expenses and they're adding it onto already expensive fares. And people are saying, well, I know, but prices have gone up, right? Everything's gone up out there. You got to expect the cruise to go up and the prices to go up as well. That's true. But when the prices are already high as compared to the other cruise lines that are similar cruise lines that you would compare them to, you'd compare them to a Royal Caribbean, you can compare them to some of the Carnival ships, you can definitely compare them to MSC, some of their new ships. So you start to break it down by, okay, now what am I getting for my money? And some questionable decisions by their media group, I guess, whoever's in charge of their, talking to the public out there, like coming out and doing some things that just does not look good. And if you're a loyal Norwegian Cruise Line customer, like a lot of people who've been reaching out to me are, they're getting disappointed and very disgruntled. For instance, when you announce, here's an example, they announced that gratuities are going up. In fact, they went up more than every other cruise line. They raised them up 20%. 20%. All at one time. From $16 up to $20 for a regular standard balcony cabin that are automatically on your charges, which means a family of 4 on a regular vacation of 7 days is going to be in the $500 range extra. All right, that's not great, but under the same time, the exact same time that they were raising the gratuity prices, they announced that they're changing their stateroom staff, where they're going to no longer have a senior stateroom attendant and a junior. They're going to just make them all one kind of stateroom attendant. And the junior is going to get a slight raise, but the senior ones, they're going to cut the salaries of that employee. That did not sit well with a lot of Norwegian customers, especially when in the next breath they said, oh, also, we're not going to clean your stateroom twice a day anymore. We're only going to clean it once. In other words, we're going to charge you more gratuities because we're not going to pay the employee more. We want you to pay them more, but we're also going to cut the service at the same time and cut the salary of the senior staff who's been working hard to get that job and promotion to the senior stateroom attendant. It's not a good look. It really isn't a good look. And people did not like that because people fall in love with their stateroom attendants. A good stateroom attendant can make your cruise or break your cruise, right? There's nothing better than a stateroom attendant that The minute you step out, they're in your room, they've cleaned it, and you just go, I've gone down for a coffee, I come back, and my room's clean. It's amazing when you have a good stateroom attendant. And people are saying, yeah, I don't like the fact that they're doing this to their employees. You know, cutting their salaries and cutting the service as well, which is never a good thing, in my opinion, when you are still raising your prices. And then they did the announcement of the entertainment. They're cutting back on entertainment on the ships. Kinky Boots on the Encore has been canceled. Crew members who were signed up to go onto the ship were sent an email saying that they're sorry, we're rethinking our entertainment and we're cutting back, and your services are no longer required. No compensation. You're just not required anymore. Oh, by the way, all the people who had a contract who were already on the ship, and you say had 3 months left on your contract, yeah, don't bother. We're sending you home. We don't need you anymore. And that could go for more entertainment on as well. Norwegian Cruise Line came out with a lot of Broadway shows out there that people love. And that's the reason they're booking the ship. They want to see these good shows and good entertainment on the ships. Well, are they changing that now? Are they cutting back and going to go to much smaller staff instead of the big Broadway production? Well, if that's the case, that's not what we're signing up for. So you see where people can get disgruntled. You're raising prices, you're cutting back services, you're charging for more things, and then you're stopping even the simplest thing as the entertainment on board. What's next? Are you going to cut back the bands? Are you going to cut back how many musical acts are on the ship at a given time? Are you going to, start charging a lot more for different venues of entertainment on your ships? You already charge for some shows that are in the clubs that we have to go. What's next? Are you gonna charge for a comedian show that we're gonna have to go see the comedian? Well, that's gonna be an extra charge. People are wondering where the cut is gonna come from, where it's gonna stop, because right now they seem to be going along the lines of how Walt Disney World went for the longest time in the last couple of years, where they cut back everything and they raised the prices dramatically while cutting services everywhere and cutting staff everywhere. And that seems to be Norwegian's game plan right now. They're cutting staff, they're cutting hours, they're raising prices, they're charging more, they're looking for all the nickel and dime stuff even more than they were before, and people are getting turned off by it. I've had 15 different people contact me wondering if they should cancel their Norwegian cruise. And I have to say it, I say that's up to you completely. They still have a good product out there, but you have to be happy with what they're doing and what you feel the company is doing. And also, if your cruise is 7 or 8 months away from now, what else can possibly be taken away or added to the cost before you go? That's what people are wondering right now. And some people are thinking, maybe I'm not going to book with that cruise line right now until I see the dust settle, until it levels off one more time. And honestly, I can't blame them. I'm on a Norwegian cruise in a few days. I'm hoping the entertainment is good, because everyone's been telling me since I was on the Encore and I enjoyed my time on the Encore that you got to get back on Norwegian because it's so much fun and you're going to really enjoy it. Well, let's see what happens when I'm on the ship in just a few days. Well, I hope you appreciate this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. You want to see more tips, more tricks, more travel vlogs from around the world? Hit that subscribe button. Until next time, have yourself a safe and a great vacation.